Hi guys and welcome. Today I'm at the range reviewing this budget-friendly and really interesting scope. But before I get all technical, let's do some shooting. I've got my targets set up at 100, 150 and 200 meters. The 200 meter one is a big steel gong. And well, in my opinion, there's three things that make or break a scope. Does it hold zero? Are the turrets working fine? And the quality of the glass. Everything else is important, but not as much. So the way I'm testing this optic, and I already did it, so I know how it's going to perform, but today you'll get to see it, is I'm going to shoot at 100 meters. I'm going to shoot one round, then do 15 clicks up, do one round, 15 clicks down, do one round, and so on and so on. And in the end I should get two similarly sized groups, which would mean it's holding zero and the turrets are working. Now, this scope was mounted on a couple of different rifles and I've been using it for about 3 months total. So it was mounted on my 8mm Mauser. It was mounted on R8 Blazer in 308, on a CZ Varmint rifle 557 in 308, and also on my AR-15 in 223, and yeah, it's kind of stayed on my AR. Now let me just get my ears on and we can start shooting. Now there's a lot of noise, as you can probably hear, and that's because there's a motorcycle race in front of me, so behind you. And soon there's gonna be some gunfire as well, but it is where it is. It's an open range. And there are really dark clouds behind me, so I'm hoping I don't get all wet. Okay, power on. Not sure how well you can see the targets, but you can see this white one. There's another one behind it, and there is a steel gong right over this little bush behind me. I'm gonna do a couple of warm-up shots on the steel gong, and then I'll do some precision stuff. Okay. Okay, so that's two groups at 100 meters, and I'll just see what we got. Okay, so let me just grab my marker. Okay, so 10 shots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One group, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second group. Okay, so everything is working as it should. Now those are not the best groups in the world, but to tell you the truth, I wasn't even trying to be that precise. I was just, you know, eyeballing it. So the turrets are working and it's holding 0. Now we can get all technical and stuff, and then after we'll do some more shooting. Okay, before we continue, the gun is empty. So let me just show you the scope close up. So this thing is Vector Optics Continental line, and the model is called X8 because it's 1-8 power by 24i ED fiber tactical Riflescope. Yeah, it's a mouthful, but basically it's 1-8 LPVO with a fiber reticle, and it's got a 24mm lens. Now, a few days ago my buddies and I were here shooting. It was getting late and it was getting dark, and I was using this AR with my Vector Optics, and my buddy was using his Leupold with a 42mm lens. And at one point I could shoot just fine. I was seeing the target and I was seeing the markings on the target, while my buddy with his Leupold wasn't seeing anything. He was just seeing somewhat of a target shape, but he couldn't see the markings at all, and that's a lot larger lens than this one, so that just says something about the quality of the glass inside this lens. Now, Vector says the glass on this lens is German and it's Larry glass, and as far as I can tell, they are not lying. The picture on this thing is it's not as good as on my Swarovski scope, but it's really close, really close, and that's saying something because, well, Swarovski. And let's just cover the specs real quick. Now I'll have to use my phone on that because there's a lot of things going on with this scope and I don't want to forget any, and I have a habit of forgetting things. So first thing first, German optics system using Larry lens, and it's got 93% light transmission. Now I have absolutely no reason to distrust that statement because the picture I'm seeing from this scope is really good, and I can clearly see targets even at dusk and dawn, so thumbs up, that's a plus. Next, they say it's very little distortion and extra low dispersion glass, and I can attest to that. It's got some warping at 1 power, and when you're just standing still and shooting you don't really notice it, but when you are moving around you see some warping of the image. Now that's not uncommon for LPVOs at 1 power, but it's something to note. As far as the side picture goes, it's really clear and it doesn't fall apart at higher magnification. So many LPVOs are great at 1, 2, 3, 4 power, but when you get to the higher end or higher range of it, say 8 power or especially 10 power, usually they kind of fall apart. Now this one doesn't. This one at 8 power is as clear as at 1 power, and it doesn't have any distortion, so that's really good. It's got 30mm monotube made from 6061 aluminum, and the whole system inside is 7075 T6 aluminum, which is kind of the standard these days, so nothing special, but all the scopes are aluminum and most of them are made this way. Okay, so they say the field of view is 23.6 degrees. That is really wide, especially at 1 power. You can clearly see everything that's going on around your target or your, well, anything that you're hunting. I did use this for hunting and it served me well. Sorry, this field is full of horseflies and these things are just eating me. Yeah, the field of view is really wide. Let's see. Extra large eye box, edge to edge image with no inside dark ring. Okay, at 1 power you only see this tiny little black portion right here and nothing else, so it really is a really wide eye box, and well, that's a good thing because the side picture is clear, and when you're looking with your both eyes open it doesn't really get in the way. The turrets are 1/10 mil click value. They are resettable and lockable, and you can unlock it, turn it all the way at one or the other direction. Let me just zero it and click it in place. Now it doesn't have zero stop. Other scopes in their Continental range do have it, but this is a 1-8, so they figured they don't really need it, and I kind of agree with it, but I wish it had it just because that's a cool feature. Also, this doesn't have a side focus knob, also because it is 1-8 and it's not supposed to be shot at really long ranges, and other scopes of their Continental line do have that. Now, when I say long ranges or longer ranges, I'm talking about a couple hundred meters or yards. The furthest I shot with this thing is 600 meters. The furthest I was actually hitting anything on a regular basis is 450 meters. And it's not a problem with this scope, it's not a problem with this rifle. The problem is at 600 meters. As you can see, this is all grass, and at 600 meters I have no idea where my bullet is landing, so I'm just guessing it, and you know, guessing something at that distance isn't really precise. But that's on me, that's not on the optic or on the gun. So let's continue moving forward. Oh, I almost forgot, and I actually keep forgetting because my other scopes don't have a red dot, and I keep forgetting that this one has it, and you can turn it up right here, turn it on right here, and it's got this half clicks, so it's right now it's at 8, so half click, 9, half click, and this means that at whatever power of the red dot you are, you just make a half click up or down and you turn it off, so you then don't have to scroll it all the way back to 0 or off, which is good. And now it's also kind of the standard at higher end scopes. One really cool and key feature, key selling point of this thing, it's got a fiber dot reticle, which means there is a fiber dot that gets illuminated with a small LED. So that means it is really bright. And talking about bright, this thing goes up to 11, and usually I use it at 5 or 6, and right now it's not really sunny, but let's just see. At 5 power I can see the red dot clearly. At 4 power Still, I'd say I see it, but it's not as clear or as pronounced. And at 11 power, it's just too bright, too bright. I don't imagine you will ever use it at the full power. Maybe at 8 or 9, and that's it, nothing more, because it's really is that bright. They are not lying when they say it's bright. And the last thing they point out is that it withstands 338 Lapua Magnum recoil, so it's supposed to withstand all of your regular calibers. This is a 223, which basically has no recoil, especially when you have a compensator like I have. But I did use it on 308. I used it on 8mm Mauser, and that thing has a ton of recoil, because my 8mm Mauser was a rifle that came into Croatia during the war. It was brand new, and my gunsmith sporterized it, and he sporterized it in the way that he shortened the barrel, thinned the barrel, so the barrel is really thin, and I shortened the stock, so it is a really strong caliber and really lightweight rifle. It's about 2.8 kilograms. So yeah, that's really loud, especially for an 8mm Mauser, which means this thing kicks, and it's not really pleasant to shoot, but yeah, still I love it. Okay, let me just sit down for a second. I think I covered most of the specs of this scope, except for the size and the weight. Now, its weight is 530 grams, which is 18.7 ounces. And let me just check. So the length of the whole thing is 290 millimeters, which is I have to check, sorry guys, I'm not good at imperial stuff, so it's 11.41 inches. Great little scope, really love using it, and yeah, that's it. I'll just do some more shooting, and see you guys next time. Cheers. Couple of shots at that still target over there.